Welcome to the show, Trevor.
Thank you.
It has been 2 decades between solo albums for you. This is your new album, Jacaranda. It is out right now. It is absolutely stunning. We just saw a clip of it. Tell us why 2 decades between solo records.
Once I'd left Yes, I was concentrating on film. I started doing film in about 95, and having done so many movies, I just didn't have the time and really wasn't that inspired to do another album. But eventually, once I started, I slowly got into it.
And you sort of did this on the side while doing, little films like Armageddon and National Treasure and
It definitely
mega Jerry Bruckheimer blockbusters.
Yeah, but in all honesty, because of that, last year I pretty much grabbed last year, and I did, to the distress of my agents, I needed a couple of things in the movie stuff and finished the album.
Yeah, that probably didn't go over too well.
No,
I want to be alone. I'd like to go make a record. I got Bruckheimer on the phone. He's got a lot of money for you. You sure you want to think about that?
actually, quite often, if there's a movie that I really don't want to do, they'll call me back and say, "How much don't you want to do it?"
That's a good. I like that question.
I'll end up doing it.
So yeah,
that's funny.
you talk about that. So you've done over 40 films, including, obviously, we talked about some of the biggest, Bruckheimer being one of the biggest producers, prolific producers,
Right.
which is an amazing career unto itself. Then you had this amazing career with Yes, and talk about that transition of how you did it, and what do you think it takes for an artist to make it as a composer, to swap careers, if you will?
Well, a lot of it was I was fortunate enough to be in the right place at the right time. I was, after doing the Yes tour, I got to get used to this.
That's
thing,
okay.
It's okay. You can look at them. You can look at us.
Okay,
you
I just feel rude if I'm not looking at you.
It's against all social graces here at the Comet.
It's the whole internet thing.
Right. Well, I went to a restaurant in L.A. and my wife and I went there to eat, and the maitre d' came up to me and said, "Oh, Steven Seagal owns the studio," and I told him the restaurant. Yeah, studio restaurant. It's all.
Wow, Steven
Seagal. Yeah, and he said he really wants some guitar lessons. So I thought, well, I want to get into film, so maybe I'll talk to him, and
That's
And I went and I
funny.
sat at his place for a couple of hours, and we went through a couple of things. I remember I taught him how to play Red House by Hendrix, and a couple of
Wow.
other things. And
First, can I say balls to ask you to teach him guitar?
He's
yeah,
that,
and he didn't
he's
ask
that kind
me.
of.
That's-
His assistant asked me.
That's
that
just
kind- he's that
insane.
kind of guy, though. He's that
I
kind of
mean,
guy.
you're one of the most amazing guitar players. Be like, oh yeah, do you mind giving me lessons? Wow.
Well, I'm a terrible teacher, but I went and spent a couple of hours with him, and then he said, "Thank you. If there's anything I can do for you," and I said, "Well, I want to get into film scoring." He said, "Well, are you familiar with what?" I said, "Well, yeah. I'm trained in classical music. I conduct, arrange, and can write. And then obviously I'm pretty familiar with rock and roll, so I think I'm okay with it, and technically I'm okay." So I thought he was going to give me a phone number of someone. Well, call him, he can help you. But he said, "Well, I've just finished a movie, do you want to do it?"
Wow.
So I said, "Yeah, of course."
Wow.
I didn't even think about it, I just said, "Yeah." And I did that movie, and then someone came to the premiere from Bruckheimer's camp and liked the music. They didn't like the movie, but they liked the music.
That's
And,
amazing.
and thereafter, I've done 13 Bruckheimer movies.
So kids at home, remember, if someone asks you to do something you don't necessarily want to do, it could lead to greater things.
It could lead to greater things.
And that's a fantastic story, actually.
That
Yeah.
is actually a great story.
That's a wonderful
I
Hollywood
still can't
story.
get over
Yeah,
like the
yeah.
assistant asking the guitar lesson thing,
great,
but
though.
thank God you did it.
Yeah, I mean, I
Thank
wasn't.
God you're like, okay.
I didn't really know how serious I was about film. It was just a curiosity in the beginning.
And when you got the bug, that was it.
And once I got it, I just love it.
Right.
And so on the album, your son Your son Ryan plays on it with you, and Ryan is in one of your favorite.
Group Love, man. I
Favorite new
didn't realize.
bands.
I saw them
Really?
at Coachella for the first time.
Oh yeah.
And
yeah.
what I loved
Did you go
about it-
first or second week?
First.
Oh, I was there.
And what I loved about it was their performance. They were so genuinely happy to be there. Like they said, we've been coming to this thing for 9 years, and this is our first show here.
Wow.
And it was just like you felt that, like, you know, local guys make good.
Yeah.
And they have
Yeah.
hits. They came up with a couple hits.
Yeah.
The songs just stand out and above and beyond, and the crowd singing every word.
Yeah,
I didn't
yeah.
even know your son was in the band. So which one is your son?
He's the drummer.
Okay.
He also co-writes the songs with them, and he's also the producer.
You must
Wow.
be so proud.
And yeah, I mean, it was an amazing story with Group Love. My son Ryan went to, was it Crete? Crete. He went to Crete.
Greece. In Crete,
Yeah.
okay.
And was kind of on holiday in a kind of artistic retreat, and met everyone in the band. He was there with his surfer buddy from Malibu, and they went there together, and he met up with these people, and he came home, and he said, I've been, because he went to USC for 4 years and did music there. And he said, I've met with these people, and I think there's really something here. We've written some stuff. Can the band stay at the house for a while? So I'm thinking a weekend or so.
Uh-oh.
3 months later, the album was finished.
Wait, are
That's
they all staying
amazing.
at your house the whole time?
But of course,
3 months.
You're a
Yeah.
Dad,
wonderful,
you can't
wonderful
say,
father
You
and
can't
mother.
say no.
Oh, it was great. And you know, the amazing thing about them is how genuine they are on stage. If you come to the house and hear them rehearsing, they enjoy it just as much. They really love their company and what they do.
Thank you so much
Thank you.
Yeah,
for
wonderful
coming
to
on the
meet
show, and everybody,
you. And Jacaranda. Pick up Jacaranda.
Jacaranda.